I could not do your job anymore. Some of you guys get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, shower, you're out, persistently coming down the rain, like frost, you're out on the track sometimes, I guess. But I couldn't do that job, it'd kill me, you know? How many hours do you guys work? Let's do this. Who works more than 40 hours a week? Yeah, most. Yeah? 50 hours a week? A couple of them. Yeah? I couldn't do that. I'll be frank with you. I'm not a teacher this week in a classic sense. I'm not up here to tell you how to live. That would be wrong. Okay? But I am here to challenge why you're making decisions. And I'll do that for you, not to you. Is that okay, Mr. Pedantic? I'll do it for you, not to you. That you're okay. Someone said once, Frank Farrer, who died this year, one of my heroes, provocative co-therapy guy, he said that this is really this process is really about having like a brother who doesn't mind telling you that you're an idiot. Yeah? And you can't go anywhere else to get that feedback. The trouble with sibling rivalry is brothers and sisters will always do it just to beat you. So we don't have that, but we will tell you what you need to know. Okay? Now here's the thing. If I tell you you're too tall, yeah? You're too thin, you're too dark-haired. I can't win with you, can I? Okay, please. You shouldn't wear a brown shoe.
That's it, yeah.
Now, you know, you can take that one of a number of different ways. You can take that as a fact and tell me I'm wrong, or you can take that as my belief, can't you? Now, if I believe it, there'll be other people out there that believe it. So it's useful to at least have an idea of what other people think of you, even if they're wrong, because it tells you what to expect. Does that make sense? Yeah? So I want to encourage you to share with each other your unreasonable beliefs about each other. Okay. I mean that. Your if I can spell this right. How do I spell it? Unsubstantiated. No, it's not an I now. Isn't there an I now? Unsubstantiated. Unsubstantiated beliefs. Because they're valuable. It's useful to know how other people see us, even if it's wrong. Okay? I'll give you a suggestion. Suppose I say to you, I planted red grass yesterday. Apart from it being a ridiculous time of year to plant it, what would you say? What's the obvious thing anyone's likely to say? I planted red grass.
What is it?
Well, that's a good one. That's a good answer. They're normal. I mean, most people would say, there is no red grass, that's rubbish. Yeah? And you quite likely didn't use that one, because it gives you no information at all. It just puts you off with something. So the more outrageous, the more unsubstantiated the statement is, the more value we have in saying what makes you think that. You know, give you some idea about what made you think that way. Help me out, tell me more. Yeah? So it's a bit like the old story of the Italian boys who were caned and they were taught to say, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" An act of defiance. You know? So if somebody says something like that to you, ask for more. Yeah? So if I say plant red grass and you say, "I've not heard of red grass," what's that? Which is really, I've not heard of that. It's fantastic, isn't it? Well, I would then say, "Oh, it's not coloured red. We get it from Moscow." Yeah, so it's like communist grass. It's like red. And how would I know that, Cliff? Oh, yeah. Do you see how much more useful that kind of response would be this week? Yeah? So if I say, "You're too tall," you would say, "Really? What makes you think that?" Rather than, "I've heard that so many times." Okay. We're okay with that, unsubstantiated beliefs. Everyone okay with that? Yeah?
Can I just ask a question about that? So,
I'm having trouble hearing this.
Sorry, we're talking about You're having trouble hearing me as well, crikey. I think I'm the loudest one in the room. I'm just trying to understand, are we talking about, we've got to be, I guess, honest there, in that some respect, but we don't have to be blunt, do we? Because that can be quite harsh.
Well, that's a good question, because we haven't got a lot of time. So to be, here's my sensible answer, I think.
Yeah.
Tell me if you agree with this. I love writing this up. You know I'm going to write there, don't you? Yeah? I don't have a problem soft on the person. Yeah? As in, you ask for permission.
Okay.
Can I give you an honest answer? Because as I see it, I may not be right, but the evidence so far suggests that you're actually not listening. Or you're actually making up your mind before I finish speaking. Or your breath smells. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah? And I think sometimes things like your breath smells can be more offensive than your an evil-hearted swine. So we have to be a little bit careful with people, don't we?
Yeah.
And the problem this week, we've only got 3 days basically to take from lunchtime today. Yeah? So it's best to get on with it, but I think what I would suggest is you wait for the person to ask. Can you give me your opinion? Then you've got permission. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is that like the loving boot?
Loving boot.
A loving boot.
I've heard the iron fist in the velvet glove.
So, yeah.
That one. Loving boot, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, smashing. But there's no point in saying to people, oh, how lovely you express a lot of loving time. I actually think it's crap time. Sorry, I don't. Actually, it is.
How wide?
Doesn't hide the belly.
Doesn't what?
Hide the belly.
Oh, thank you. I see, that's because he's got permission. Yeah? I've got a big belly, that's right. And it's okay, because we're friends. So, what we need to do this week is create that opportunity, that space which you asked about. We've got to create the space first. Now, if we have a thing, as your facilitators, we don't want to interfere too much with what you're doing. We just want to be here for you to check in with us, to say, if you want, is this okay to do this? Yeah? You don't have to ask that, but if you want to, we want to be here to answer that question. But creating the space means holding the space. So if we say to you, what's that going to give you? So if you say, well, I want to get on faster in my career, and we say, what's that going to give you? Now we will then shut the hell up and wait. I won't tell you what to say. You have to hold that space. So if somebody says to you, do you think my bum looks big in this? Yeah? You might say something like, why are you asking? What makes you think it does? Yeah, that's what facilitators do. It can be quite frustrating sometimes. If you want a straight answer, so stop that, give me your belief, then we will. Okay. But if we create the space for you to move into it, we'll stay there and wait for you. That's the benefit of having trained people here this week. Yeah, we won't say, why do you want to get on in business? Is it because you want more money so you can be smarter, a bit of control of life and do this and go to school? Won't do that. Okay. So, okay, so far.
Yeah.